It was good to see us play active on the glass and at the rim. That's one thing I had been a little disappointed with our team after the first 3 games. I didn't think we were rebounding the ball anywhere near as well as we needed to on either side of the floor. And the big problem for that was lack of activity, just guys standing around watching and also contesting plays at the rim. I thought we did that today. Even a couple times where we made mistakes and got beat, guys ran in there and protected the rim. And that's the game's not perfect. You make mistakes. What you can't do is when you make a mistake, give up on a play. And I thought we were a lot more active today on the glass and like I said, defensively.
Frank, I know that, since you've been here, it's always been about your offense comes from your defense. Is that what you saw tonight? It seemed like that zone really disrupted them and was turning into a bunch of runouts.
Yeah, it's Dave, I don't know. I think because we defend differently than probably 99% of the people out there, nobody ever gives my players credit for being good offensive players. And it drives me nuts. When you disrupt teams where they can't run their offense, and then they become one-on-one players, it makes it a little easier to defend, and that's what we strive to do when we play. That's another game where our assist numbers are pretty good. It's we didn't make the 3 ball very good today. If we would have, our assists would have been in the low 20s somewhere. And but it's our guys. We're going to have some rough patches early in the season because we're trying to integrate first-year bigs with experienced guards. And then we're trying to get a freshman and a sophomore guard to understand how hard you have to play and the structure within we try to play so we can have 5 guys playing as one. And that takes a little bit of time, and there's going to be, I got to be careful. Like today, I didn't really pay attention too much to rotations, like who was on the court with who. I can't put too many first-year guys together because they just, it's not their fault. They're trying to learn. They just don't understand the nuts and bolts of what we try to do as well as they need to.
Frank, sorry, drew a complete blank. Who do you like best as your backup point guard behind PJ? Is Hassani a guy that can do that, or would you rather have Rob be that guy full-time?
I haven't made that decision. Hassani's practiced it the whole preseason, raw with the broken foot, and then obviously the situation he went through. Raw's practiced 4 times. He's had a total of 4. Raw broke his foot at the game I was at last February in New York City, and could not play basketball from February until whenever that weekend that he got in trouble. And so after that, he couldn't practice because of what took place and because of the decisions I made internally. So he's practiced a total of 4 times. But Hassani continues to grow. Hassani has the ability to score. He's trying to learn when and where, but he's got the ability to score. Both of those guys are going to play the point for us, Dave. I haven't seen enough from Raw yet to be able to answer that question for you clearly.
You spoke the other day about wanting Mike to stay out of foul trouble. What do you think about the effort you got of him tonight?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, if you would have been at our practice yesterday, you would have seen Mike and KG and Rand Tutt and Jarrell and all those bigs doing a lot of running at the end of practice because we just started charting every time they didn't go after a rebound. And I found out that they'd rather me raise my voice than have to run for not rebounding because every one of those guys I just mentioned, every time the ball was on the rim, they left their feet and they went after that ball. And I told them after the game, I said, you see, now that's where you guys messed up because now I know how to get to you. I thought I was trying to teach you and you were kind of not really doing it, but you don't like running. So we're just going to chart it every single day. And if there's 20 opportunities that you have to go rebound and you choose to stay on the floor at the end of practice, you're going to have 20 sprints. We'll call them 22s. You're going to have 20 of them. And they ran every single one of them yesterday after a 2-hour, 15-minute practice, and they will run every single one of them going forward until they learn that they have to be active that way. Funny how active Mike was today, and he stayed out of foul trouble. Funny.
4 games in 8 days. I know you were excited to see how these guys handled the pressure. What do you think you learned from your team here in these first 4 games, these 8 days?
We got a lot of work to do, but the room for improvement is like huge. You know, it's a lot of times you play early season games and you see your team and you're like, okay, what can we do a little better? Our room for improvement is through the roof right now. If we can get those bigs to be active like they were today and continue to understand where they belong on offense, first of all. And then we can get the 2 guys I spoke about earlier, Ra and Hassani, up to speed with what we're trying to do and be able to do it at the speed that you have to do it to succeed in college basketball, which is the biggest adjustment for young guys. I see a lot of interchangeable parts. I see a lot of burden that Sindarius has had to deal with for 3 years of having to bring the ball up the court, having to defend the best player, having to make decisions off the dribble, having to post up. I see him not having as many burdens on him, so he can be fresher and be a lot better at doing less things in the game. But what makes him real good is how good he is at so many different things. So, you know, I've played small this year more than I ever have in my career, just because we've played teams that are small and we're trying some different things, and I kind of like what I see. Well, I shouldn't say that. My first year here, I was the tallest guy in the team, so I guess that makes us small. But, you know, we got interchangeable things right now, and I've got to figure out a way to find patience for those first-year guys to continue to learn. They want to do well, and I know that. I've got to help them, and our upperclassmen have been phenomenal in trying to help those guys.
Frank, a couple of questions. Is DeMarcus okay? Does this look like a long-term thing?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't. It's not the hip. It's an ab, whatever. You know how those things go. Guys that pull their ab, whatever that low ab muscle, whatever it's called. You know, we're shooting like 7 to 10 days, but we don't know. We don't know.
And also with Mike, I think when Lamo and Mindy came in, they were kind of outside shooters, despite being as big as they were. Where did Mike's game develop? Was it a post inside thing, and are you trying to get him to shoot more out, or do you like him to be comfortable where he is?
He does both. He does both. You know, I wouldn't call him a 3-point shooter, but then again, neither was Lamo, even though he want to go shoot him. But Mike can shoot that 17-foot shot. He's pretty good at it, and that comes. See, you can't ask people to understand chapter 13 before they understand the first 12. So I can't throw the whole kitchen sink at Mike from day one. So we've tried to understand him as a player, and then give him just a chunk of something. Say, Mike, let's figure this one out. Let's get you real good at this. And as he understands that real good, then we can also do these other things off of that. And that's the way we're trying to do it right now. And if we can keep him out of foul trouble, Mike's going to be a real good player for us. It's, you know, we were all over him yesterday in practice because he has not been. I told him he had more rebounds in the first half than in the first 3 games. You know, and funny, like I said earlier, and he didn't get in foul trouble, and that's activity, man. That's but Mike's a talented kid. Mike, and he's got unbelievable pride. Like if he makes a mistake 3 possessions earlier, he'll come to the bench talking about that mistake, and I'm like, Mike, I don't care about that right now. We got to go to the next play. He's like, yes, but I was supposed to be over there. So Mike, please forget about it. He's got pride. He wants to do things the right way.
I don't think I heard you say, what about Silva? Is he okay?
Who, Chris?
Chris, yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with him.
Okay.
And if it was, he's one of those freak athletes that just kind of wakes up in the morning and Mr. Miyagi kind of himself, and there ain't nothing wrong with him. Thank you, guys.